Foreword from my upcoming book, January 6th, Surviving the Kill Zone. When prayer isn't words, it's survival. There was blood under her nose, and in the corner of her mouth. I didn't even realize we were down at first as it happened so fast. 1 second we were standing there chanting USA, USA, and the next second we were at the bottom of a riot with the cops attacking us. When I hit the ground, she was right beside me. I didn't know her name yet. I didn't know her story. All I knew was that her nose and mouth were bleeding and she wasn't moving. I did not know I was going to spend all day every day since then thinking about her and what I could do to make the world see what happened to her too. Know her name. She never once opened her eyes. I blinked hard, trying to clear the gas from my eyes to see better and trying to understand. Trying to breathe and trying to not breathe at the same time. And then a momentary panic struck me. I saw a man trying to save a different woman, I call her, the Mexican girl, because she looked Hispanic to me. She was screaming at the top of her lungs when he would try to pull her away from the mouth of the tunnel entrance, where we all were piled up. Till this day, no one knows who that woman is. Those are the screams that those there that day say they were responding to when they approached the tunnel entrance, not to attack the police, but to save a woman's life. There were people on top of me, crushing my ribs and pinning my arms and legs to the ground. When we fell, my left leg ended up on one side of a handrail and the rest of me on the other. And upon hitting the ground, what felt like the weight of the world fell on top of me, trapping my leg. At one point, I thought it was going to break into and braced for that pain, but that pain never came. Almost immediately after that, I thought my back was going to break after I was struck very hard with a flying body being ejected from the tunnel entrance, and I was bent backwards. With my back bent in an unnatural position, I was able to grab the handrail and pull myself back up. I heard screaming, but it sounded underwater, like a radio left on in a war zone. I tried to push up. Nothing. I tried again. Nothing. Then I heard a hiss and the sting of tear gas started burning my face and lungs. I was trying to hold my breath as long as I could, but eventually I had to take a breath. It was like breathing fire. That's when I realized that I might not make it out. Not just arrested, not just beaten, dead. Suffocated under a pile of broken bodies. And the police kept swinging the batons, firing the rubber bullets and spraying the gas while knocking more people on top of us. There for a moment I thought about trying to fight. I thought about thrashing and kicking. But I didn't. Then something deeper took over. I closed my eyes and I prayed. Not some polished prayer from a pulpit. Not a flowery speech for an audience. With just me and God in the tunnel, in the darkness and the pain. With Rosanne Boyland dying. Beside me I prayed. Jesus, please let a moment of calmness come over this crowd so we can get up and get away from here. And that is when it happened. When God came down from heaven above and answered my prayer and saved my life as soon as the prayer had left my lips. It wasn't words, it was survival. Stripped down to the soul, it was the purest prayer I've ever prayed because it was the first time it truly understood the instant and awesome power of God, and that He was listening. It wasn't supposed to be a kill zone. January 6th was supposed to be a peaceful rally. That's what I believed, and that's what everyone around me believed. We gathered because we believed in the Constitution, only when all others failed. We gathered because we believed our voices mattered. We learned the cold reality that January day. They told us to peacefully and patriotically make ourselves heard. We listened, and then the government attacked us in return. I wasn't looking for a fight, I wasn't looking for chaos. I came with a phone in my hand, not a weapon. As a witness, not a warrior. We marched to the Capitol, thinking it was ours. Another mistake we soon learned. We waved flags, chanted, and sang songs. But the closer we got, the more the air changed. Something wasn't right. The barricades had already been pushed aside. And not by us. Police lines looked suspiciously thin. I didn't see any empty entrances where I stood. Where I was standing, the police were using deadly force and killing people. The police had started a street fight. They were not holding the line. Not like the thick blue one they did after that day. They were attacking us with batons, with tear gas and shields. With their fists, tasers, sting balls, and triple chasers, and all without warning. They weren't trying to maintain order. They were trying to kill our spirit. The gas, the fists, the brutality, the murder and the evil. It wasn't about protecting the building. It was about punishing the people who dared to come near it. By the time we reached the West Tunnel, the trap had fully closed. Pepper balls loaded with chemical gas filled the air and batons started swinging into people's heads. There was no warning, no negotiation, no attempt to de-escalate, just force, crushing, blinding, chemical force. They didn't want to arrest us. They wanted to break us, and they did. They broke Rosanne. They almost killed me. And now God has other plans. Now that I've lived to tell it, I'm going to make them regret not killing me when they had the chance.